This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for the PS Vita. Coming up on Destructoid, the new Borderlands 2 trailer is awesome, even though it has dubstep. Big Boss wants you to work on the next Metal Gear title, and after 13 years, we are finally getting a Half-Life Gordon Freeman action figure right now on Destructoid.
Welcome to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long. And that's Max Scoville.
I got a Vita.
I guess. You got a Vita?
I got a Vita. I got a Vita today. It showed up, like an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
And,
you haven't even been able to play it yet, have you?
No, I'm playing this great game. It's called System Update. It's still going.
That sounds exhilarating.
No, not really, but it finished updating like right before we had to start the show, so I don't get to play my video games. I just have to talk about them.
Poor you. Poor you, getting
tragic.
a Vita shipped straight to work on launch day.
Oh, speaking of days on which we do things, on Monday we talked about the releases of the week, and we mentioned that I Am Alive was coming to the PSN this week, and it isn't. And a few people decided to bitch at me over Twitter about that, even though that was your story.
I guess it was.
Your failure to
I'm a
journalize.
liar. What can I say?
Yeah, that's actually coming to Xbox Live Arcade on March 7th, and according to the official I Am Alive Facebook page, it's coming to PSN in spring 2012. So.
All right.
That's a season, not a month or a date, so that's not helpful at all. But
well,
yeah, we report on what we can find on the internet, and sometimes that turns out to be the wrongness. So.
Yep.
Speaking of the wrongness, tell us about the rightness, please.
Yes, actually today has been a fountain of awesome news, starting with the Borderlands 2 trailer that was in my Twitter feed this morning when I woke up. Not only that, we got an official release date of September 18th, which is roughly on par with what I predicted, meaning that I am a wizard, of course. Now, in addition to the increasingly popular wub wub music that Max and I love so much, the trailer introduces us to the game's four main characters. We've got Maya, the token female who resembles Ramona Flowers a little too closely for my comfort. Salvador, the dual-wielding gunzerker you might remember from the last trailer. There's also Axton, the dreamboat of the team, who's probably the engineer since you can see him operating a turret at some point. And last but not least, Zero, a stealthy character whose area of focus seems to be jumping and stabbing, coincidentally, two of my favorite activities. We also get a brief introduction to Handsome Jack, the villain of the game, though it's not exactly clear what his motives are. My guess it somehow involves destroying mankind. You know, evil people love doing that. Yeah, just general badness. Amidst all the action, the trailer promises an epic campaign, 4-player co-op and split screenplay, a lot more skills, some new vehicles, and 870 gajillion more guns. Gearbox, I am holding you to that. If there are not precisely 870 something plus guns in this game, I'm gonna sue. Now, obviously, I shouldn't have to tell you how awesome this trailer is. In the 3 or so minutes I was watching, I spotted 10 to 15 different enemies, including transformers, giant grasshopper-looking things, a morbidly obese woman who may not have actually been an enemy, I don't know.
She's mine.
And some Loch Ness Monster machine thing with tentacles. Finally, and you may remember Gearbox announcing this a while ago, but all the original characters from Borderlands are going to be reappearing in the sequel as NPCs. So if you look closely enough in the trailer, I'm sure you can spot all four, but I definitely saw Mordecai there with his little bloodwing thing on his arm. And of course, the ending of the trailer shows a 2-second live-action clip of Lilith saying, "Pandora's changed." Except, like, worse, because, I can do it better because of the red hair. I'm better than her.
She has
pink. I'm better than her.
She has pink hair, but what?
Right.
I was going to say that I'm not really a Borderlands fan. I played a little bit of the first one. I didn't really get into it or care for it from what I saw. It was all right stuff, but too many rat dog things. And,
okay, you're.
But the trailer looks really, really cool, and I think it looks neat. So that's good.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really up for debate.
Yeah.
So.
And it seems like they're making fun of dubstep in game trailers. I might be totally off on that, but who knows? Anyway, if you guys are wondering why I'm wearing my amazing Foxhound shirt today, it's because it's very comfortable and I think that it looks cool. But coincidentally, we do have some Metal Gear news. Early this morning, Metal Gear Solid creator Hideo Kojima posted a link on his Twitter to an announcement that Kojima Productions is looking to hire some new people at the Game Developers Conference that's going to be happening at the beginning of next month right here in San Francisco. Now, these jobs are for work on the next Metal Gear Solid, which will presumably be on next-gen consoles. In an interview, Kojima went on to say that he plans to open a new studio in California, providing Kojima Productions can, quote-unquote, find the right people. Now, that's all very exciting for people going to GDC, for prospective game developers who want to work with one of the coolest studios around. But I think the big news here is that Kojima's basically saying that, yeah, there's going to be a new Metal Gear on the next-gen systems. On a more political note, I think the fact that he's pushing for development without borders and is trying to open a California studio is really awesome, considering how like nationalistic and hardcore a lot of Japanese companies can be.
Definitely.
He had an American guy. A lot of American people worked on the Metal Gear Solid 4, and if you've paid any attention to the series, it's kind of obvious that it's like heavily inspired by Western culture, and also kind of pushes for the progress and shit like that. But anyway, upon seeing this job listing, I immediately messaged my game designer best friend, and I told him that if he didn't apply for this position, I would choke him to death, dry hump his corpse, and then hide in a cardboard box that smelled like wolf urine.
That got weird fast.
Yeah. Anyway, if you need a job, put on your sneaking suit, and you should infiltrate GDC next month. Maybe we'll try to do something with that. I don't know.
I will be applying personally for the position of Candy Girl. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cute.
Tara, just do the thing.
Okay, one last bit of news before we break. A couple weeks ago, our pal Brian Provinciano teased that there was going to be some big news about his indie game Retro City Rampage, and on Monday we found out what that news was. Retro City Rampage, the sandbox homage to everything 80s and 8-bit, is going to be experiencing a multi-platform launch.
Shazam!
Shazam! Originally, this game was supposed to be an XBLA exclusive, but now it's also coming out for PSN, Steam, WiiWare, and even the PlayStation Vita. That's right, you've got one, man. You can play it.
Just like this one, right here in my hands.
Even better, after years of waiting, we've gotten official confirmation that it will be out in May of this year. Hallelujah! You can pre-order it on Steam right now for the handsome price of $15, and with that you get both the Steam version and a DRM-free version, as well as the game's soundtrack, digital manual, a printable cartridge label, and a coupon for 20% off all Retro City Rampage branded t-shirts, posters, and pins. Now, aside from being an awesome game, it also features a Michael Jackson plastic surgery clinic where characters can get plastic surgery to look like any one of their favorite Destructoid editors, Max and myself included. And if that, my friends, is not worth the price of $15 to you, then I have just one question to ask. Why do you hate freedom?
Fuck you.
Fuck you. You know what? Before we start cursing people out, maybe we should thank our sponsor.
Let's take a breather. Yeah.
Now, if you're one of the lucky ones to get your hands on a launch day Vita, then you really owe it to yourself to check out Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. This game comes complete with every mode from the console version, along with new features designed specifically for the Vita. Play exciting online matches either locally or via Wi-Fi using the new touchscreen controls, or share costumes with your friends using the Vita's Near feature. With its 3G capabilities, you can even view leaderboards and replays from anywhere you like. With Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the epic rematch looms in the distance as you take the battle to all new heights. With a refined fighting system, 8 new stages and plenty of new modes, and a roster of 48 characters from the Marvel and Capcom universes, 50 if you count DLC, this game continues the great Capcom fighting game legacy. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is available now for the PlayStation Vita at the low price of $39.99. Been reading a lot of reviews of this one, actually. It seems like one of the better launch titles for the Vita. The Vita.
Do you know what? I want that game. Do you know why I want that game?
So that you can play it?
Well, obviously, but it has Deadpool in it.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
We need Deadpool.
Yes.
You don't know who that is, do you?
No,
okay.
I have no
Fair
idea.
Enough. It has Chun-Li too, or girls or somebody. I don't know. Anyway, so the dust has settled on the International Toy Fair Trade Show, which takes place every February in New York City, and a bunch of sites have put up photos. Now, a while ago, I asked you guys if you gave a shit about nerdy toys, and a bunch of you said yes, maybe like 12 of you or something. So here you go, Toy Fair news. For starters, NECA had some really awesome stuff on display, including some Borderlands 2 action figures, including Salvador, a psycho bandit, and an assassin. Is that Zero from the trailer we just saw?
Yeah, it looks like him.
Okay, it says assassin there because there's probably a secret thing. They also have Claptrap in the corner there, which I think we've seen before. They also had a couple Bioshock Infinity tchotchkes on display, most notably the full-scale replica of the crazy Skyhook, which is easily the coolest winch ever used in a video game. But I'd say the best stuff at NECA's booth was their Valve line, which includes action figures of the Left 4 Dead Smoker, Team Fortress's 2 heavy weapons guy, and Gordon fucking Freeman! Finally! Good God! Also Team Fortress 2 and Headcrab plushies, but really, it's Gordon fucking Freeman. After Half-Life came out like 14 years ago, and there has not been an action figure, which is just absurd because I'm putting him next to Duke Nukem and I'm knocking Duke Nukem over. Okay, they also had a Boomer figure, which I guess explodes, and then a life-size, yes, he explodes like that. Isn't that awesome?
Oh,
that's disgusting. Cool. And also a life-size portal gun replica, which is going to be very expensive. Square Enix had their PlayArts Kai, very high-end action figure line being shown off, and it had some really gorgeous Mass Effect prototypes, which really, they do make the DC Direct ones look like festering piles of garbage, and also a Kratos figure, which I don't believe I've seen before. Diamond Select had some action figures from Insomniac's upcoming game Overstrike, as well as some new Alice Madness Returns toys that I'm sure will be very exciting for Goth Chicks and Jessica Chobot. A company called Triforce that I'm not too familiar with has a line of video game replicas, which includes an M8 Avenger assault rifle from Mass Effect, which allegedly lights up, and a Gears of War snub pistol, which is actually available now. I think it's shipping, and also a Locust Hammerburst rifle, which you guys know that I don't like Gears of War, but I gotta say that thing is really cool and probably weighs about 40 pounds. That is just the gaming-related tip of the iceberg as far as what Toy Fair has in it this year. And if you're even like remotely as much of a toy geek as I am, I highly recommend checking out the coverage over on Tomopop.com, which is the Destructoid sister site that covers toys and knickknacks and tchotchkes, as well as the massive photo gallery on Figures.com, which is where we pulled up these photos.
Toys. So many toys and figurines.
I like toys. Someday I'm going to that thing.
Yeah, you will. Someday you'll get there. So speaking of Japanese things, we've got great news regarding Operation Rainfall and their campaign to bring all these weird JRPGs overseas. Nintendo confirmed this morning that The Last Story will be localized for release in North America this summer. Very exciting. Xseed Games will be picking up the localization duties, while Nintendo is busy preparing Xenoblade Chronicles for its April 6th North American release. Meanwhile, there's still no word yet on Pandora's Tower making it to the US. Though if Nintendo was to localize it, they'd probably wait a while to announce it, just so they don't overshadow all the goodwill that they created from localizing the first two games. That's how these things work, right? You try to extend your goodwill as far as possible. You don't know what I'm saying, do you? You can't understand
There's a Goodwill
English,
down the street from my house. That's where I got this jacket.
Right. Why don't you close us up?
Okay. I think we're done here.
Twitter.
I'm going to go play my Game Boy of the future. If you guys want to keep up to date with what we do when we're not just making asses of ourselves right here, be sure to follow us on Twitter. I am at Max Scoville, and she is at Tara Longest. That is, us names are on there. And together the show is at Dtoid Show, which is actually a very useful thing to follow because it puts up all our videos. You should also subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're into that kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah. And before you leave the internet, be sure to check out my review for Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which went up on this very channel just hours ago. This is actually the first solo review that I've ever done, so please check it out and let me know what you think. Constructive criticism is nice, as long as it doesn't talk about my boobies. Coincidentally, I'll also be going on New Challenger tomorrow to discuss it with Anthony Carboni. So if you want to see what two nerds debating video game narrative is like, you should watch something else, because we're going to be drinking 40s. About boobs.
40s and shorts.
Boobies. We might talk about Alan Wake or something, I don't know, if we get around to it.
Flannel shirts till it hurts.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good night.